People talk because they're afraid of being ignored. They explain because they need approval. They react because they can't control themselves. Silence scares people because silence means you're watching. Silence means you're thinking. Silence means you don't need to prove anything. In a loud world, the one who speaks the least usually knows the most. While others are arguing, you're studying. While others are flexing, you're preparing. While others are making noise, you're becoming dangerous. The loud ones want attention. The silent ones build power. If you can master silence, you master your emotions. If you master your emotions, you control every room you walk into. Move quietly, let them underestimate you. And when it's time, let your results speak. Consider this. How often do we measure our worth by the volume of our voice instead of the depth of our presence? Think about it. Every conversation you witness, every argument you resist joining, every word you choose not to speak, it is shaping something unseen, something powerful. People confuse noise with influence. They believe that if they speak the loudest, they lead the pack. But leadership, real influence, often lives in the quiet spaces, in the stillness where thoughts gather, decisions form, and character is carved. Silence is not emptiness. It is a reservoir. Every pause you take is an investment. Every moment you choose to observe instead of react is a step closer to control. Control of your mind, your choices, your life. You've noticed the ones who rarely speak in the room. The ones whose words land with weight when finally delivered. There's something magnetic about them, isn't there? Not because they dominate conversations, but because they dominate themselves. And in that domination lies power no noise can ever replicate. The world is obsessed with instant reaction, immediate responses, and constant display. But power, the kind that doesn't fade with applause, doesn't live in reaction. It lives in restraint. It lives in observation. It lives in a quiet mind that is always several steps ahead. Imagine walking into a room and commanding attention, not through shouting, but through presence. Imagine people leaning in, not because you forced it, but because your calmness, your patience, your unshakable poise demands it. The world fears silence because it reflects their own discomfort. When you stay silent, you make people uneasy. They try to fill the space with noise because they cannot tolerate the unknown. And in that discomfort, you find advantage. They're revealing themselves. They're showing you who they are, while you remain the observer, the strategist, the one who will act when the moment is yours. Silence is not absence. Silence is strength. It is a shield. It is a weapon. It is a presence that speaks louder than words ever could. And if you embrace it, truly embrace it, you will understand a power that the loudest voices will never comprehend. So, lean into the quiet, stand firm in it, and watch as the world around you rushes to fill the space you leave empty. Not because they control it, but because you do. Why silence is perceived as strength. Have you ever noticed how a room shifts the moment someone stops talking? Suddenly, the noise around them feels louder, more chaotic. Everyone leans in, almost instinctively, to see what the silent one is thinking. There is a magnetism to stillness, a gravity that draws attention not through sound, but through presence. That is why silence is perceived as strength. When you remain silent in moments where others feel compelled to speak, it signals something far deeper than words could ever convey. It signals confidence. It signals control. It signals that you are not at the mercy of the moment, that you do not need approval, that you are not chasing attention. And human beings, by nature, respond to confidence. Even if they do not understand it, they feel it. The loudest voices often scream to convince others they are capable. The silent ones, on the other hand, already know it. And that knowing, it is unmistakable. People sense it instinctively, even if they cannot articulate why. That's why silence carries weight. It is mysterious, and mystery commands respect. Mystery makes people pause. Mystery makes them curious. Strength has never been about noise. Strength has always been about control, about restraint, about knowing when to act and when to remain still. If you rush to respond to every provocation, if you always feel the need to explain yourself, the world sees your reaction, not your thought. But when you remain silent, when you choose the pause, you are showing that the moment does not control you, you control it. Silence is also a mirror. When you do not respond immediately, you force others to confront themselves. Their words, their actions, their intentions all become more visible. And in that visibility, you gain insight. Strength is not just about what you can do, it's about what you understand before you act. Finally, silence is a signal of integrity. It communicates, without saying a word, that you are consistent, self-aware, and unshaken by the chaos around you. People may try to break your silence with noise, with pressure, with provocation, but if you do not budge, you are revealing a power they cannot touch. That power is calm. That power is clarity. That power is, ultimately, strength. How silence gives you psychological advantage. There is a subtle power in silence that most people never notice until it is too late. It is the kind of power that does not announce itself with flashy gestures or loud declarations. It moves quietly, almost invisibly, shaping the way people think, the way they act, the way they reveal themselves. This is the psychological advantage of silence, the ability to observe, influence, and understand without ever lifting your voice. When you remain silent, you put others on the defensive without even trying. Human beings are uncomfortable with unknowns, with spaces that demand more than they can give. When you do not react immediately, when you resist the urge to respond, you create a pressure that forces others to expose their intentions, their weaknesses, their patterns. They start filling the silence with noise, and in that noise, you find insight. You see the truth behind the mask, the cracks behind the confident facade. Silence also gives you a step ahead in decision-making. While others rush to speak, to prove themselves, to react, you are watching and calculating. Every word they utter, every movement they make adds to your understanding. By the time you do act, you act from a position of knowledge, not impulse. And knowledge is power. Action informed by observation is more precise, more deliberate, and infinitely more effective than action born from chaos. There is another layer to this advantage: perception. People often equate speaking loudly or constantly with intelligence or authority, but when someone remains quiet, people begin to assign significance to their words. A single statement from a silent person carries more weight than 100 from the loud. Silence forces others to listen, to consider, to value what is finally said. In this way, silence becomes a lever. One word, one carefully placed action, can shift the entire room. Silence also cultivates patience. Most people are reactive. They respond to emotion, to provocation, to circumstance. The silent person cultivates control. You learn to wait for the right moment, to strike when the conditions are favorable, to avoid unnecessary conflict. This patience is not weakness, it is strategy. It is the calm before the storm. And when you act from that calm, your actions are not only effective, they are intimidating because they emerge from mastery, not desperation. Silence allows you to remain unobserved while studying others. You can read patterns, anticipate moves, and navigate complex situations with clarity. Others are busy making noise, reacting impulsively, and revealing themselves, while you remain the steady presence at the center, absorbing, understanding, and preparing. This is not just an advantage, it is a position of control, and in control lies influence. In short, silence is more than just not speaking. It is a weapon, a lens, and a shield all at once. It gives you the ability to see what others cannot, to act with precision, and to hold power without declaring it. People may think the silent one is passive. They are mistaken. Silence is the quiet signature of a mind in command, of a person who has mastered themselves before attempting to master the world. Why loud people lose power without realizing it? Noise is not power. It is distraction. It is a mask that hides insecurity. And the louder someone becomes, the more visible their weaknesses often are. In a world obsessed with sound, those who shout first and often rarely notice what they are giving away: control, credibility, and influence. When people speak constantly, when they insist on proving themselves with words instead of actions, they expose a need for validation, a need for attention, a need to dominate the conversation. People instinctively detect it. No matter how clever, how charming, how persuasive the words may be, there is an undercurrent of desperation in constant talking. The louder someone tries to assert themselves, the less weight their presence carries. Reacting impulsively is another trap. Loud people often respond immediately, angrily, defensively, or out of fear of being ignored. Every reaction is an opportunity for others to see the cracks in their armor. Every shouted opinion becomes evidence that they are led by emotion, not intellect. Meanwhile, the silent observer grows stronger. They analyze, they wait, they choose their moves deliberately. The louder you are, the faster you reveal yourself. The quieter you remain, the deeper your advantage grows. Speaking constantly, defending yourself, explaining your every move, these are draining habits. They scatter energy, blur focus, and erode presence. Power, real power, is about conservation, conserving attention, conserving energy, conserving influence. The loud lose power because they spend it before it is necessary. Silence, on the other hand, preserves it, focusing it for the moment that counts. And then there is the matter of perception. People may initially be impressed by a loud voice, but over time they respect the one who speaks with purpose. Loud people give away significance with every unneeded word. Silence reserves significance. Silence creates anticipation. Silence makes presence feel earned. The truth is, the world misunderstands noise. It admires it for a moment, but respects it only if it is backed by strength. Without action, without restraint, without strategy, loudness is merely a shadow of power, a show, not substance. And when the noise fades, the silent ones, the calm, measured, and observant, are the ones who remain. They are the ones remembered. They are the ones who hold influence long after the loudest voices have disappeared. How to control emotions instead of reacting. Emotions are like fire. They can warm a room or they can burn it down. Most people live at the mercy of their feelings, reacting first and thinking later. Anger, frustration, excitement, or fear, they respond to it immediately, giving the world a front-row seat to their inner chaos. And in that chaos, they lose control, respect, and influence. The silent, however, see emotions as signals, not orders. They recognize that every surge of feeling is temporary, and that yielding to it rarely produces the result they truly desire. When provoked, when challenged, when cornered, they pause, they breathe, they observe, they choose, and in that pause, they reclaim power. Controlling emotions does not mean ignoring them. It does not mean pretending they do not exist. It means understanding them, mastering them, and using them as tools rather than weapons. When you can feel without reacting, you gain clarity. When you can remain calm while others erupt, you become the eye of the storm, the point of focus, the unshakable presence. The world is full of people who react impulsively, and their reactions reveal more than they realize. Their anger shows insecurity. Their frustration shows impatience. Their excitement shows a lack of control. When you refuse to give in to these impulses, when you remain silent and steady, you send a message far louder than any outburst. I am in command of myself. I am not easily swayed. I am the one who decides how this moment unfolds. Emotional control is also strategic. Life is a series of choices, and each reaction shapes the path forward. react too quickly, and you may close doors before you understand the full picture. Respond too slowly, and opportunities pass unnoticed. The silent one, the master of emotion, waits, not passively, but intentionally, until the moment is right. And when they act, it is decisive, impactful, and measured. The people who control themselves are often underestimated. Others mistake calm for passivity. They think silence is weakness. They fail to realize that restraint is a sign of strength far beyond their own understanding. And when the controlled individual finally speaks or acts, it carries weight, authority, and clarity that reactionary chaos can never replicate. In essence, mastering your emotions transforms you from a participant in the noise to a conductor of presence. You are no longer pulled by circumstance, provocation, or fleeting feeling. Instead, you direct the rhythm, choosing when to engage, when to remain silent, and when to let action speak for you. That is power. That is influence. That is the quiet force that makes people stop, watch, and take note. The mindset that makes your presence intimidating. Presence is not about size, volume, or the number of words you speak. True presence is a state of mind, a combination of self-assurance, clarity, and quiet authority. It is cultivated from within, long before it is noticed by the world outside. The people who command rooms, who make others pause without raising their voice, possess a mindset that few ever take the time to understand. At the heart of this mindset is confidence, not the kind that brags, but the kind that is unwavering. It comes from knowing who you are, what you value, and what you are capable of. When you carry this certainty, your silence is no longer empty. It is charged. Every pause, every measured word, every deliberate action communicates that you are not easily swayed, that you are not distracted, that you do not need to seek approval. That is intimidating because people instinctively recognize authority when it walks into the room quietly. Another element of this mindset is patience. Impatience makes people reckless, reactionary, and loud. Patience makes the silent person deliberate, strategic, and unshakable. They understand that influence is not gained by rushing into every debate, every conflict, or every argument. It is earned by waiting for the right moment, by observing others, and by acting when the impact will be greatest. Patience conveys strength. It communicates that you are not governed by circumstance, but that you govern it. Composure is also key. Life will throw provocation, criticism, and unexpected challenges at you constantly. The silent, steady person does not crumble under pressure. They maintain calm, and that calm becomes a mirror, reflecting the chaos around them and highlighting the imbalance in others. When people lose their temper, they reveal their limits. When you remain composed, you reveal your power, and that is a subtle yet deeply intimidating form of influence. This mindset is rooted in purpose. People who make their presence felt have a sense of direction that others can sense even without words. They are not moving randomly or reacting to every noise. They are moving intentionally, guided by principles, strategy, and vision. Presence grows from purpose. Silence amplifies it. Action delivers it. And when all three converge, you do not have to demand respect. It arrives naturally. To develop this mindset, you must value depth over display, thought over reaction, and mastery over noise. You must embrace stillness as a tool, observation as a weapon, and restraint as a signal of strength. When this mindset becomes second nature, your presence becomes magnetic. You do not chase attention. Attention finds you. You do not command by yelling. You command by being. And in a world addicted to sound, the silent, confident, composed individual becomes a force that cannot be ignored. Silence is not absence. It is presence. It is not weakness. It is strength. The world may try to rush you, provoke you, distract you. It may reward noise and punish stillness, but true power does not chase approval. It waits. It observes. It prepares. And when the moment is right, it acts with precision, with clarity, with authority. Move quietly. Think deeply. Feel without reacting. Let others reveal themselves while you remain the observer. Let them tire themselves with noise while you conserve your energy. Let them underestimate you while you sharpen your power. And when you finally act, when your words are spoken, when your results appear, they will carry weight that no shouting could ever match. Because silence is not just a choice. Silence is mastery. Silence is presence. Silence is dangerous. Stand still, stand firm, stand quiet, and watch the world notice you, not because you demanded it, but because you earned it.